Commander Cody?
The siege goes well. With our continued barrage, their shields should be down in 3 months.
But we've been here a month already.
Yes, sir. We're right on schedule.
It's been a little bit since I made a custom clone trooper. I know, it's actually been quite a while. And I figured I would make an actual individual video of this custom because this is by far the most involved custom I have ever made. This figure actually involved cutting and gluing and a little bit of scratch building even. This is the Tartakovsky Clone Wars Micro Series Commander Cody. They never made an articulated figure of this design of Cody. It is by far my favorite design of Commander Cody. And let's just say I'm happy that I got around, took an evening to make this custom. Now, is it perfect? No. Are all customs perfect? No. This is my own thing. And I'm happy I made it. I think I made it pretty good. Definitely could have done some things better. But hey, this is my first really involved custom. And I think for only having taken an evening to do this, I think it turned out really nice. Now, the design of Cody in the Micro Series is awesome. It's not the most unique Clone Trooper design, especially compared to the realistic Revenge of the Sith version of Cody in the movie. But I really do enjoy this design. It's unique, it's special, and I love it. And I wanted to make an articulated figure of it, because the only other figure they've made of this design is this thing. Now, I love these figurines for what they are. It's just not, it doesn't do it for me, man. You can't really pose it beyond this. The sculpt isn't too great on the helmet, but one of my many Cody keychain figures, if you haven't seen the video, I got 5 of these on eBay for $10 because someone in China decided to make them keychains. I used one of these and used some of the parts to make this. So showing off the rest of the recipe on this, I guess. I think it's funny how people call custom figures and the things that went into it a recipe, but I guess it makes enough sense. The base figure was one of these. Revenge of the Sith Battle Damaged Clone Trooper. I just have a lot of these. I had a lot of them laying around. I had one that didn't have the antenna. I figured, hey, let's breathe some new life into it and make something really cool and special out of it. And then, for the little holster right there, a part of me for a while was thinking about just cutting off the holster on the belt and gluing it on here, but no, I wanted an actual working holster. So thanks to viewers like you, I got a Commander Vil, not this one, this is my Vil in my collection. I got a Commander Vil in the P.O. box, and I took this holster right here, sliced it off, and then sliced off a piece of the belt, and then glued it on, and hey, it works great. He's got a little pistol in there, I really enjoy it. Now, I did take some interpretations, I took some artistic liberties with the design here. The shoulder pads are far more akin to just how they look in Revenge of the Sith in the Clone Wars Micro Series, but I wanted to make them bigger and just kind of cooler looking. And I think I did a pretty good job of that. It's the biggest scratch-built thing I did. Part of me was thinking about sculpting them for a while, and I tried sculpting it, and let's just say I haven't sculpted before, and I did a terrible, terrible job. So I decided, hey, let's cut out a template and see what material I could use to kind of make them. And I ended up going with cardboard. Cardboard, baby! That's what his shoulder pads are. And I think they turned out pretty good. A big reason I decided to make this custom battle damaged is to disguise some of the imperfections of the folding and gluing process of the cardboard. But I think they look pretty good. I think I got the shaping down pretty alright. I think they're pretty even. I enjoy them. If you were wondering, hey, J4, what did you use for the antenna? I used sewing needles. And my fingers are not happy that I did, because sewing needles are very sharp and very pointy. And I literally stabbed the figure in the head and in the shoulders to get those sewing needles in there, and then I glued them in. The tip here is another piece of the original figure. It's just the tip of that. I was actually for a while thinking about using the full antenna from the original, but it looks really ugly. So I decided to give it a completely new antenna rod. And then the tips of the antenna here, they're not the most perfect shape. This is one of those things where I was really hurt by the scale I was working with. They're literally just dabs of super glue on the tips of the needles, painted white. That is all they are. And I think it turned out pretty all right. I did paint the sewing needles gray because I figured, hey, I didn't want the metal shining through, but you still may see a glimpse of it here and there where the metal didn't really pick up the paint 100%, like right there. Which I think it looks fine. I think it also kind of gives it a little bit of a worn metal look, and I honestly don't mind it. I might scratch off some of the gray paint on the ones on the shoulders there. More parts I used from the original. Of course, I used the backpack. Of course, I'd use the jetpack. I did weather it and all that, of course. I use apple barrel acrylic paints, in case you're wondering. They're just at Walmart. They're cheap little paints. They do the job. I'm happy with them. I think that works nice. I did have to add some extra plastic to the in between the backpack and the jetpack of the figure and the accessory because it's a little tight on the original figure, and I wanted it to stick out a little bit more, just for some leniency, I guess. Looking at this holster a little more closely, I think this turned out really, really good. I decided to keep the belt loose because I had to cut it off, because first things first, on these Revenge of the Sith troopers, they attached all of the belts upside down, which is terrible. Another proof of this is that even in the Legacy Collection, the Commander Cody they released, the belt is upside down. Yeah, I don't know why Hasbro did that, but it sucks. So I put it right side up. I cut and shaved off this ammo pouch on this one, and I left a little bit just so it has some surface for the holster to glue on. Then I just put a standard Revenge of the Sith pistol in there because honestly, I love those pistols. They're not really accurate to anything in particular besides the toys, but if you know me, I'm a toy guy. I love the toys for Clone Troopers, honestly, even more than the actual lore and canon of them. And then the rest is pretty much just basic repainting. I went over them with some brownish gray paint. That's actually the same color. The same color for all the weathering is the same as the belt, actually. I just thought it looked really nice. I gave them some orange stripes. I did all of that freehand, and then I just took a toothpick and cleaned it up, made it look how I wanted it to look, and I think that turned out really good. The helmet, that's one thing I want to talk about a little more, because what I had to do, I shaved off the visor on one of these with a X-Acto knife, and then I glued it on there, and I made the mistake of cutting off the floodlights separately. So you may be thinking, oh, one of those floodlights looks really ugly. You must have had to improvise, right? Believe it or not, the one that looks ugly is the one that's the proper floodlight that came from the original figure. The other one was actually, it's actually a scratch piece of plastic that came from the pouch, the ammo pouch that I shaved off. So the one that I made myself looks slightly better than the official one. That's unfortunate. A little detail I also did, I made his mouth black just to kind of match the more animated look, because I went for a mix of animated and realistic, and I think it turned out pretty nice. I love the orange stripe that the Tartakovsky Cody has on his helmet instead of just having, you know, the gray things on the helmet. I like the orange stripe. I also like the orange. Oh no, that's not a good thing. I also like the orange stripe down the arm. So I tried to make that look as nice as possible, and I think it did a good job. Another very minor detail, Tartakovsky clones, in the art style, do not have the white straps on the armor. Man, this thing's really ugly and dirty. I got it from China, okay? You're going to expect it to be dirty. But anyways, the straps are just not showing on the Tartakovsky designs, so I painted them black. So you don't see the straps for the knee and elbow pads at all. Just a little detail I wanted to throw in there. So that's almost it. That's pretty much all I've done with this Tartakovsky Cody. I really do enjoy it. A couple more comparisons. Of course, you've already seen the comparison with the original Tartakovsky Cody figure. Let's get him a little more straight there. The comparison with the original Revenge of... Well, not the original, but the Revenge of the Sith design, his theatrical design. So you can see the differences there because it's substantial. There are quite a lot of differences between the animated and the movie design of Cody. And that's why I want to make this custom. One little thing I figured I would have put in this video because I haven't said it before and I figured I would say it. I would love, if I had the money and I had the willpower, I would love to make a 501st Legion approved costume of the Tartakovsky design of Clone Commander Cody. I would love to do that, but oh my god. The money and the effort. I would have to scratch build. I could probably reuse Revenge of the Sith Cody shoulders for that, but I would have to maybe have like an inverted mold of that shoulder with the antenna, and it would just be I would need to have a completely scratch built jetpack I would need to have a scratch-built helmet with the visor, and I would want working floodlights. It would just be such a hassle. But I would love to do it one day. It's never going to happen, but I'd love to do it. And with that being said, hope you enjoyed taking a look at my custom Tartakovsky era Clone Wars Commander Cody. I loved making this thing, and I hope you loved taking a look at it. I'm going to try to get back into making some more Clone Trooper customs. I posted a picture of one I did a few months back on Instagram, but it's actually not finished yet. I do want to get around to finishing that before I show it in a video. But there we go. Have a good day. Force be with you. Comment, like, subscribe, social media down below, P.O. Box address. Goodbye, guys. See you all in the next Clone Corner. Whoa!